Welcome back. We are here to talk about Simply Budgets. This is an innovative personal finance management system which also gets you ready for business. But I want to tell you about David Wright and what he's created. This program is a software program that sold 22,000 copies in Australia alone. It has ways that we can figure out how to really have the lifestyle we want because we are in control of our money. Not strangled by a money diet, but in control of our money. So welcome to the show, David.
Thank you, Letitia. Thank you very much.
I told everybody this was my cousin, so my cousin from Australia.
We must be related somewhere.
Now, tell us a little bit about your background and how you really came up with this.
They say that motherhood is a necessity of invention. Going back probably into the early 90s in Australia, we had really high interest rates and our mortgage payments were getting so high that I was getting a little bit worried about, we might lose the house. And so every night I would be up late stressing about the budget and sitting down, going through the numbers and doing all of that. And nothing would change. And I kept doing the budget and we still kept having problems. And one night I just had this inspiration that said, do it a different way. You can't expect to get a different result if you're going to keep doing it the same way all the time. So I just thought, well, how can I do this different? And it was like a lightning bolt went off and I just thought, that would work, this new idea that I had. Mm-hmm. And so I spent a little bit of time developing it and it worked so well that I couldn't keep it to myself. I just had to share it around. So it grew into something much bigger than I first expected. Okay,
so now you're in Australia. You're telling people about it. Are you just doing it for yourself? What did you do to get the word out?
I started by going into people's homes and doing their budgets for them and not really knowing whether it would work for other people.
Okay.
What I found was that everybody just went, this is so good, it just makes so much sense.
Okay.
And for 3 years I was doing that until eventually I thought, this is crazy, I can't keep doing it for people, I have to make it so they can do it for themselves.
Because it was too many people to service.
Yeah, and it would take me 3 or 4 hours to set it up. So I put it in a box and made it so people could do it for themselves. And 22,000 copies later, I have so many testimonials from people saying, this has changed our life. It's like, for me, I'm living my dream now because I just love helping people with money, which is one of the biggest issues that people have is money issues. So
absolutely.
It's great.
Absolutely. Now, you're from Australia, you have petrol, your dollars are a little different than our dollar. Do you have a dollar?
We have dollars,
You have a dollar. It's different from our dollar. I haven't been to Australia. I've been to Fiji, but I haven't been to Australia. So this, how does it translate for Americans?
I had to make some minor changes to it. In Australia, when we talk about a period of 2 weeks, we call it a fortnight. Okay. I think you refer to it as bi-weekly here, so I just put it 2 weekly. But within the software, I had to make some minor changes and decided, well, we'd go all the way and produce the product specially for the American market. So the whole packaging's been adjusted, the software itself has been internationalised, and here we are launching. Yeah.
Okay. Now tell us a little bit about the setup. When someone's setting this up, does this take hours and hours to set up, or?
It depends on how organised or disorganised you are.
Okay.
If you're the sort of person who's well organised and you do have financial records, and a lot of people use records as a way to convince themselves that they're being good with their money. But I've actually found that record keeping is a waste of time.
Okay.
And with this system, you don't actually keep records. It looks into the future and says, here's a roadmap, if you like, that will take you from where you currently are through the next 12 months and beyond, and give you numbers to target that will let you know when you've got surplus money that you could go and have a weekend away or whatever it is that you'd like to do without having to feel guilty. Because you know when you've got spare money and when you don't. Most people have got money, but they don't know if they've got too much or not enough.
Okay.
And we all guess and bumble our way along and we make a mess of it sometimes.
Okay. So this is like pretty easy to set up. If you're not a person who keeps records at all, or you're just really starting to budget,
right?
What do we need to know?
Okay, you would sit down, you'd install the software, you would print out a blank set of worksheets. At your leisure, you would sit down and go through, how much do I need for the groceries, how much a week do we need for gasoline, I used the right word there, gasoline.
Gasoline.
Insurance, all of those different things that we all call them bills, and they just come and go on a regular basis. And once you put in the amount and the date and check that the frequency is correct, whether it's weekly or 2 weekly or whatever it might be, at the press of a button it actually generates a look into the future and tells you where you're going to end up and what numbers you need to make it work for you. So
Can we do savings goals with this? Can we
yeah.
say we want to try to save, $1,500 for Christmas? So,
Well, Christmas is a regular expense. It happens every year. So if $1,500 was your target, you would put in $1,500 beside the Christmas label, perhaps the 1st of December, and it's an annual expense. And come the 1st of December, $1,500 will be there for you to withdraw and go and do the Christmas shopping. Your money pops up and says it's time for these things to happen, as opposed to my old method was the postie would arrive with the bill and I'd go, oh no, I don't have the money to pay that.
I
So it
see.
turns everything around the other way.
Okay, so we know that when the bill comes in, we're ready to handle it instead of just, okay, here's the bills and here's what we have, let's toss it up and see what sticks.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's your money tells you when your bills are due, and I used to actually wonder why hasn't the phone bill arrived, because I've got the money sitting here waiting, which was a total turnaround from what had previously been happening in our home.
Okay, a lot of people are starting businesses and there's a little bit of commingling with the personal expenses and the business expenses. Can this help with that too?
Very, very true. A lot of people in small business and starting up get their personal finances and their business all mixed in together, and it becomes a nightmare. By getting the personal budget totally under control and separated, and also this will allow you to do a business budget as well, so you could actually do both. But by getting the personal budget really sorted out and identified what the journey looks like, it then frees up all the rest of your banking and your checking accounts and things, so that you can actually focus on putting your time and your energy and your money into your business rather than into solving your personal problems with money.
That is awesome. It's called Simply Budgets, and we're going to have more information about that on the Right Place TV website. But thank you so much for coming in. You've traveled a long way. I'm very excited, and congratulations for the American version, and I know that it's going to help a lot of people.
Letitia, thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. We're going to talk about fashion that doesn't hold mold, doesn't hold bacteria, is environmentally friendly, and is the softest material you've felt in a long time. So stay with us. This is The Right Place.